You guys don't want me to talk about the Mahomes injury. We'll get into that in the middle of this recap. Obviously, I mean, guys, Jonathan Taylor, I mean, that was about the craziest wait for that game to turn as well. Again, crucial game as well. Of course, 2 big games. They lived up to it. Well, one of them definitely did. Of course, Josh Allen's just, he's the man. And yeah, the Eagles might be the best team in the league. With that said, though, let's get this thing started, obviously, with the play of the day.
Biggest play of the day for the Saints. And now Cedric Wilson fires across the field. Kamara makes the catch. Touchdown. Kamara with the one-handed grab. 1 foot is down. Oh, I don't know, Kenny. I think he's going to...
Tony, but here we go. 12 minutes to go. Onside kick. Ball bounces around. Is picked up by Hollins. Nope. And he's running with it.
Jeremiah Ledbetter.
First.
Breaks away from Rudolph and everybody else. It's a touchdown.
Richardson, who was just 6 of 17 throwing in the first half. Taylor breaking away. Taylor, touchdown.
On the field of play, rolling through the end zone, out of the end zone. The result is a touchback. You clearly see him dropping the football before it breaks the plane of the...
Gene, just unreal. Remember that Malachi Corley play for the
Titans.
Expected pass, but they're not going to be prepared for the run. All right, here we go. Rattler throws, end zone, touchdown! Foster Morrow!
In this second half.
All right, here we go. Rattler for the win. He throws, it's incomplete. And the Commanders.
25. Hey, yo. The Jet. Deep for Adams. He's got Devontae Adams. Adams is going to take it into the end zone. Rodgers throw on 3rd and 10. The sideline. Devontae Adams.
For the game that he seemed angry after that Eagles game.
Mahomes, step. And it's incomplete. Looking for Smith-Schuster. Mahomes took a hit.
I think that was supposed to be a Kelsey play initially, but looked like it was covered pretty well. No one wants to see that if you're Kansas City.
But got caught underneath Tomlinson and Hall.
to those opportunities. Leading receiver right now with 5 receptions on the day.
3rd and 5, Tua going deep. Oh, it's picked off! Stingley got it! Miami needs to win and here's a long pass, looking for Hill, and it's picked off! It's intercepted! Stingley's done it again! Stingley has done it again!
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Photo. Of course, please like and subscribe if you guys enjoy the NFL Week 15 recap. Obviously going through the 13, games that happened, of course, this Sunday. Of course, that was being yesterday, and depending on when you guys watched this. Obviously, you might be asking, why are we in the Lions depth chart to begin this? Obviously, we'll get into the playoff picture very shortly, as well as, obviously, the injury report overall. But that's because the Lions have a lot of injuries, and, of course, that's probably what's going to hold them back from winning the Super Bowl if that ends up being the case. Of course, they have 15 guys on injury on defense. Obviously, Aiden Hutchinson being the biggest guy. He's been out since week 6, though, so we already obviously knew about that. Olivia Neal is out, has a significant knee injury. I think we already knew. He's ruptured. Yeah, he is really messed up, guys. Olivia McNeil is a freaking beast. I get that, but he should not. Honestly, don't even think he should have played in that Bills game. I was surprised because the injury sustained against the Packers, and he also had an injury against the Bears. His knees was really messed up, and they still put him out there. Just questionable with the training staff of the Lions there, and obviously he's not playing probably for a while, if I had to guess. Nate Lynn, Kyle Pecco, Mekhi Wingdo. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, guys. Kyle Pecco's really the only depth guy that's actually decent. So I mean, this is a little bit skewed, but yeah, both these guys at least are decent guys in practice. John Kaminsky's a pretty serviceable backup edge rusher, 3rd, 2nd type of guy as a backup. But yeah, that's some depth loss there. Derek Barnes, obviously the big guy being out. Obviously, same thing with Alexander Deloney. He should be back sooner rather than later, though, which is good. Jalen Reeves-Maybin's out for the season, if I'm not mistaken. I think he did tear his ACL. Yeah, it was his neck. Yeah, he's not playing the rest of the year. Malcolm Rodriguez, of course, after the year, that is another big loss, too. I mean, he's kind of like a fringe starter in a lot of ways, but still, that's not good. Carlton Davis is out for the season. Same thing with Cleo Dorsey. Both those guys, obviously, in the secondary, just this week got injured. Fedo Mafanu, we'll see if he comes back. It's the same thing with Ennis Rickstraw Jr. I would say it's not likely for either of those guys. But obviously, the Ali McNeil, Carlton Davis, Cleo Dorsey, 3 guys in this defense that they really couldn't afford to be out are out. This defense is completely falling apart. I'm just telling you guys as it is right now. I would be shocked if they play above average in terms of EPA per play the rest of the season, because it's just a complete freaking mess. The good thing though is they do have insane depth. I mean, Jack Campbell, again, second-year linebacker, still not super duper experienced. He's out there by himself, their linebacker. I mean, I feel so bad for him and this entire defense and the entire team, to be honest with you. Of course, David Montgomery, that's probably the biggest injury you probably have heard about so far. He is, I think, tore his MCL. He's definitely out for the rest of the year. That really sucks. Craig Reynolds, who I have a lot of faith in, is going to be getting a bunch of carries in the next couple weeks. I think, again, he hasn't really gotten, like, true playing time since, I honestly said, like, what was I said, 2021. There's a reason he's still on this team, though, because he's a good player. But, yeah, he had that game against the Cardinals. Again, I think, again, he had, like, really good game against the Cardinals. That's really the last time he's actually on, like, a full workload. So, yeah, Craig Reynolds obviously really on those play, but I think he's a decent player, so we'll see if he get what he can do with that chance. And of course, now getting the actual injury report. I mean, outside of that, there's nothing really too crazy to talk about because I mean, just all those Lions injuries just like blew a wave over here. TJ Watt messed up his ankle. Again, they play on a short week there. Luke Gifford again still with the concussion there. Patrick Johnson, the injury that could be concerning. I didn't really see much up going there. Zane Gonzalez and Tyler Biadasz, both are questionable. Those guys are obviously important for this team. A lot of questionables. Nothing insane that I can tell you guys about too far. Rams will be getting Tyler Higbee back for anyone who was wondering about tight ends for fantasy, if like, a sneaky guy there. Yeah, again, the Lions injuries are really bad. Again, outside of that, Trayvon Diggs and the injury, he might be out for the rest of the year. I think, did he tear his ACL? It wasn't good. Trayvon Diggs. Yeah, he's injured. He's going to be out for the rest of the year, guys. I don't know why he is, but obviously, yeah, he is. Nick Chubb broke his foot. He's out for the rest of the year. Sam Hubbard, if I'm not mistaken, messed up his knee. I didn't really see that one. I've seen like the video of it, but it just, I don't know. It's a little unclear. Nick Chubb, he can't buy a break. He can't buy a break. Of course, phenomenal from 19 to 2022. But again, past years he just can't buy himself. It's really bad. I feel so bad for him. Questionable. Oh yeah, Xavier really messed up his groin. That did not look good. That's really about it for injuries, guys. I mean, there's some other guys that will definitely pop up during the week, but it's nothing like too crazy just yet. But yeah, we had some big injuries this week. Obviously, I'm not gonna miss the Patrick Mahomes injury. Mild high ankle sprain, which again, it's still a high ankle sprain, which is not good. If you know, you know. I mean, Cooper Kupp missed the rest of the season. I mean, that's when the Rams suck, but still, he missed the rest of the season and wasn't even close with that injury. So, yeah. Initial prognosis. Okay, Saturday. Is he gonna be out? Home suffer. All right. I don't know if we know for sure yet. I just want to see the official status. He is questionable, which, yeah, mild ankle sprain is good week to week. All right, that's at least somewhat better. But obviously for Mahomes, that they're of course trying to get the 1 seed, which we'll get into in a second. That's not good. All right, breaking down the playoff picture, guys. Of course. The teams that got eliminated on Sunday, I don't think it was anything new. I think that, yeah, maybe just the Jets. I don't even know. But, of course, yeah, we'll get to that tank bowl in a minute. Teams that are technically still alive, Colts, of course, they blew their chance. Dolphins are not making the playoffs. Bengals, I'm not going to say it's not possible because they could definitely do something in 2 weeks, of course, to play in the Broncos. And that will probably be a game in front of the whole country, if I had to guess, on NFL Network that Saturday. Anyway, though, Ravens are all but a lock to make the playoffs. I mean, they can still win the division. They got a game against the Steelers on Saturday. Broncos, of course, are also all but a lock. Maybe they can do something that doesn't have that happen. But still, they obviously took care of business in a big way. Chargers, tough loss, but they're obviously still in a really good spot. I mean, but all these teams have around 90% chance. I'd be shocked if these three aren't the wild cards. All right. Texans, of course, clinched the AFC South with that Broncos Colts game. Steelers are not looking too great. They just got their absolute behinds kicked by the Eagles in a lot of ways. But, again, it wasn't the worst loss. I guess it was 17-13 with, like, 10 minutes left. So it could have been worse. But still, We'll get to that game later as well, but again, they're still not in a great spot, again, with the Ravens right on their butts. Bills, they still shot the 1 seed again. I'm getting more of that later. But the Chiefs, again, it kind of sucks because, again, I wanted them to win. I wanted the Bills to lose, so, you know, the Chiefs could just clinch the division. And clinch the 1 seed, but more or less, they're probably going to have to win these next 2 weeks if they really want the 1 seed, because, I mean, it's not like the Bills are playing anyone good the rest of the season. NFC, Lions and the Eagles are neck and neck for the division. I mean, for the 1 seed, who's going to blink first? That's really the question there. Vikings can still get the 1 seed, which is crazy when you think about it. They, of course, already clinched a playoff spot. I think we'll get the Packers scenario in a little bit, too. Bucs, of course, have the tiebreaker with the Rams right now. Of course, with that Seattle loss, but to the Packers, they are now out of the playoffs, at least for now. Cardinals are very well still in. I mean, you might not think so, but if they're able to beat the Rams in Week 17, they have a very good shot at making it. Falcons, obviously, they're still in it. They just need the Saints. What is it called? They can't lose another game, and obviously they need the Bucs to screw up. Commanders are in a very good position at 80% there. And then Cowboys, Saints, and Niners all need miracles to get in, which they're not going to get. So that's about it. Again, Panthers and Bears officially got eliminated yesterday. Anyway, though, for the Rams, I just want to talk about them because they're my favorite team, so I can do that. And, of course, they didn't play Sunday, so I'll talk about how they can get in. Basically, if they beat the Cardinals, unless, again, something crazy happens this next week or Week 18, the Rams are probably going to win the NFC West, guys. Again, I think, yeah, that game against Arizona is going to be the big game. I mean, can they get in if the Cardinals screw up next week against the Panthers? Yes. But that Rams and Cardinals game in Week 17, that will be, I guarantee that game will be on that Saturday after Christmas. That game, I think, will decide who's going to win the NFC West, guys. With that said, though, that's all I got for you guys here. Let's get into our first game, which, of course, was a hypercritical game and also involved the Texans clinching the AFC South.
The New York Jets in overtime, 32-26. Texans are coming off a bye. 2 weeks ago, they won at Jacksonville, 23-20.
As Gene pointed out, the weight landing on the back of his legs.
3rd and 5, messy pocket, look out! Anderson knocked it away. That ball is alive. And 4, blocked by Tunsil on Ogba. Stroud, end zone, touchdown. Collins, 3rd and 10. Tagovailoa underneath. Achane grabs it with a fumble. It's loose.
Not able to get their double ball.
Look at that. It's loose. It's alive. And it's picked up on the play. Brooks is
on Christmas Day on Wednesday.
2nd and 6. Eichenberger blocked, and it's picked up on the play. Grabbed right there by Bullock. He is flying. I don't know if they're going to get it. That's a fake. Townsend is going to punt. A gun below. Look at Dore fly. This season for Houston. 2nd and goal. Stroud. There's a block by the wide receiver Woods. Tua. Good time. End zone. Caught Smith. Touchdown.
Allowed Smith to redirect on the back line and get open.
Extra point. No good.
Advantage of those opportunities. Leading receiver right now with 5 receptions on the day.
3rd and 5. Tua going deep. Oh, it's picked off. Stingley got it. He needs to win and get help. Here's a long pass. Looking for Hill. And it's picked off. It's intercepted. Stingley's done it again.
And in what was, I think it was the Texans' first home win in a while. I don't know if I had that down. Yep, in the Texans' first home win since Week 8. They, of course, were able to, again, with the Colts loss later, we'll get to in a little bit, clinch the AFC South for the 2nd straight year. DeMeco Ryans, of course, is the first quarter, only 2nd Texans coach ever. Again, I know they've only been around for 22 years. Of course, that being Bill O'Brien. Of course, that didn't end well, but whatever. To have back-to-back winning seasons as the Texans head coach, again, to start his tenure with the team. So, of course, back-to-back division titles is huge for this Texans squad. My guess they're probably not going to be doing anything too crazy the last 3 weeks. Next week, though, they will be playing against the... They're playing someone next. Oh, they're heading to... Yeah, they got a kind of brutal thing because, of course, they're doing, like, the Christmas thing. So, they're heading to, I think... yeah, they're heading to Kansas City next week. Again, there's really... Again, I guess they could get a higher seed if they wanted to. So, they'll probably... Again, it's not the end of the world, though, Texans, if you guys lose to the... I think you guys are playing the Ravens at Baltimore. And I think you guys are at... Are you guys home against the Ravens? Texans, blah. Of course, on Christmas. They're home against the Ravens. Why is that at 4:30? I really don't know why that is. That's the earlier game. They're heading to Kansas City, though, on a short week, obviously. Then an even shorter week, of course, going against the Ravens. So, 3 games in 11 days. Again, this is the first of them. This is a game they actually needed to win. So, I guess the next 2, again, higher seed's awesome, but, like, it's not the end of the world. With that said, though, again, the Texans obviously starting a very good team. I mean, offensively, again, they had 181 total yards. That's the fewest in a win they've had since 2006, if I'm not mistaken. I think they played the Raiders and Browns and got wins with lower yardage totals than they did that year. I think it was like a 23-14 win. Again, I just remembered this. And like a 14-6 win against those 2 teams, and neither of them were very good. So, kind of tells you where the Texans are at, but still, again, whatever. Dolphins fall to 6-8. Their season's basically over, guys. They need a lot to happen. Again, this was just a really demoralizing loss. They should have won this game, but definitely should have won it. But, of course, that did not happen, and they fall to 6-8, and they're probably up in playoffs. Probably have a somber game against the Niners in front of maybe the whole country next week. I don't know what CBS is going to try to do with that. Outside of that, though, I do have something to say in terms of injuries, because Grant Debuse had a really, really, really scary hit there. He's moving from what Tyreek Hill said, so that's good, but just prayers out to him, because that was a very concerning play. And, of course, what we've seen, of course, like, the past couple of years, it's just good to see a guy like that be okay, because, again, those are just very scary plays in general. All right, Tua's interception in the first half. Was it the worst throw of the year? I don't care. You can debate with the wall with that. Again, people are saying, it wasn't that bad. No, it was a really bad interception. Of course, Tua's worst game of the year besides week 2, but we're not going to mention that because he could have died, so, yeah. But so it was really bad. And all of them were to Tyreek Hill, too, I guess. Yeah, to get, like I said, Tua's worst game out to the week 2. Okay, all this is for the Texans. Oh yeah, Dolphins are 2-4 on the road, and that have all 4 of their losses have come against 500 or above teams. And again, you can't blame the weather here for this one. So yeah, that's what's going on. Dolphins can't be good teams, and there's a good reason for that. They don't have the team to do it, and also, well, there's a lot of other reasons too. We'll probably get in that roster grades probably by the time June comes around, so you're gonna have to wait for a good thing on that. But I got a lot of work to do on why this Dolphins team hasn't been successful. I mean, again, most of it's on film, so it won't take too long, but still. Texans, alright, yeah, okay. We're going to Texans. Defensively, I don't really think they played a bad game at all. They dominated up front in a lot of ways. The stunts that were ran were really good. Jalen Ramsey was okay, I guess. I don't really know. Yeah, the defense played probably as well as they've all played all year. You can't really complain about how they played. Jason Sanders had 2 field goals. I think he missed an extra point, though, something like that. CJ Stroud was not turning over the football, and I think this dink and dunk ugly offense might work. I don't know. They didn't really move the football though. Again, Daryl Ogunbowale had their biggest play, and that was a freaking fake punt. So Mixon struggled too. It was not the greatest. And Nico Collins had the weirdest game since the Travis Kelce game where he had 4 touchdowns and like 7 catches and 25 yards back in 2022 against the Raiders in Monday Night Football. But again, Nico, this is just a very weird stat line, but he makes this offense somewhat washable. The O-line is just not playing together, though. I'll give them that. But yeah, the offense, honestly, I don't think they actually played as bad as you might have thought. Again, they didn't move the football, so again, that's awful. But still, they didn't lose this team the game. Defensively, they were electric. That's the best way to put it. Henry 202 has proved me wrong in every way possible. He has been awesome the past couple weeks. 11 tackles, half a sack. Jimmy Ward has been the guy you thought he was going to be. Christian Harris back. Seems to be making an impact. Kamari Lassiter, one of the better rookie DBs in the NFL. Derek Stingley, I guess, owns the Dolphins. Of course, Jalen Ramsey had a similar game like this last year when, of course, they beat the Raiders in Week 11. And, yeah, of course, Derek Stingley, I guess, owns the Dolphins because he single-handedly won them those games at the end. Of course, he is one of the best corners in the league, and that's why I had him compared to Jalen Ramsey, of course, pre-draft a couple years ago. Daniel Hunter, 4 tackles. That was almost a casual moment right there. 1.5 sacks. Will Anderson also had a sack. They got a lot of pressure off the edge. I'd say they can probably combine for 5 or 6, like collectively, if I had to guess. It wasn't exactly the most efficient game by both of those guys, but they did do a good job. Jake Hansen, obviously, with a nice tackle, was one open field. Miami favorite hit a field goal. Again, like I said, neither offense moved the football at all. This was a very struggled game. Obviously, 4 turnovers by the Dolphins. Again, they should have won this game. That's just simple as that. But, of course, they didn't because they struggle, and the Dolphins are in a very bad spot right now. And they got to get out of it, or they might even need to blow it up. With that said, though, let's get to the Tank Bowl, which, of course, was arguably the best game of the day.
On a cloudy day in New Jersey, the Giants won the coin toss, have elected to defer, and before we... 1st and 10, and Jackson keeps it. Lamar at the 20, Jackson inside the 15, lost the football, had it knocked out, and the Giants have it. The ball is at the 13-yard line, 3rd and goal, play clock just about to expire. Jackson fires, touchdown! Mark Andrews. Under center, trying to push the ball forward. And he didn't get it. Unless he gets a very...
The Houston Texans record-wise going into today.
Jackson looking deep down the field. Bateman is wide open at the 10, at the 5, and Bateman gets in. DeVito rolling left, throws on the run, and it's caught by Robinson. It's Singletary fighting his way toward the goal line, and he's in. Touchdown, Giants. Out of the pocket again. Buying time, now coming back the other way. Lamar, he's going to run it. He's got a lot of room to run. Into 9. Jackson to the end zone. Bateman's down there. He's got it. Touchdown for Flowers. Jackson to the end zone. Wide open. Did he get the feet in? Yes, touchdown. Tim Boyle flushed out on the move. Rolling right. Comes back, throws, and it is juggled and incomplete.
Fight their record at 8-5.
2nd and 9. Wide open is Hill. Hill at the 20. 10. He can walk it in. Touch. And I get this team ready to play as best as I can every week. Boyle has to throw one up with pressure coming. Neighbors down there. Neighbors! Touchdown! Boyle looking deep. He's going to throw it deep. Neighbors in the double coverage. Intercepted.
My bad on that. Yeah, I was kind of excited for the tank bowl. Nonetheless, probably the least noticeable 5-touchdown Lamar Jackson game you'll ever remember. Of course, as a Ravens cover the 16-point spread, as they of course knock off the Giants in pretty easy fashion. Move to 9-5 with a 35-14 win over those Giants, and of course have a chance to retake the division, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Next week, of course, against the Steelers on a short week, but they are home, so the Ravens look poised there. Of course, they looked really fresh in this one. Defensively, they were flying around outside of, again, maybe a couple drives there, but still, Ravens played a great football game. They got a huge game there against Pittsburgh on Saturday. Giants, they tried, I guess. They've now lost 9 straight games, which are ties their franchise record, I think, for most losses in a row. I think that was with the 2019 team. Worst record since 2017, though. They, of course, got Saquon that year. So, yeah, a lot just not going right for the Giants, obviously, this year. They had the #1 pick, though, so maybe they actually make a good pick with that. Fire everybody and lose next week to the Falcons, because if they actually win that one, oh god, that would be something. Anyway, though, Lamar obviously threw for 5 touchdowns. He almost had a perfect pass rating. I just don't think he threw for enough yards. I mean, 290, that's just not enough. I think he might have led the league this week. No, Jared Goff exists, but still, I think he did in the early window. Anyway, though, for the Lamar second 5-touchdown game of the year. Again, he had that against the Bucs in Week 7, which honestly might have been the best game they've had offensively all year. 41 points and stuff. 4+ touchdown game of the year as well. Most touchdowns, more touchdown passes than incompletions. That's ridiculous. 5 touchdowns, 4 incompletions. I mean, if you can do that in any week, honestly, that should just automatically be perfect passer rating, no matter how many yards you throw for. Okay, that's enough. Bateman did have a 50-yard touchdown. Props to him. That was a freaking bomb. I think it was like a 49-yarder, but whatever. I think the rest is on the Giants, right? Yeah, Ravens didn't even need to run the football really that much. I mean, Derrick Henry had a kind of modest game, I guess. Lamar had 6 carries. Aaron Dolan, she had like a little bet there. And yeah, again, ESPN betting analyst there. She almost got screwed on that, but he had exactly 6 carries, so she didn't. Obviously, he had that gross stiff arm as well. Outside of that, though, for this Ravens offense, again, it was all fun and games. Oh, yeah, I'd like to congratulate Mark Andrews, 40th career touchdown. That's now the most receiving touchdowns in Ravens, I think, or just overall touchdowns. I think it's receiving touchdowns in Ravens history. Again, congrats to him there. I think the rest is on the Ravens. Yeah. Not the Ravens, the Giants. Alright. Justice Hill had a touchdown as well, strolled in the end zone. Tez Walker also had his first career touchdown. Defensively, they didn't really have to do anything. Yeah, okay. For the Giants, Tim Boyle threw the first Giants passing touchdown, which is just insane when you think about it, since November 3rd, which was back in Week 9, when Theo Johnson had his first career 35-yard touchdown. Just not that exact number. Of course, I guess that as well. Of course, when Daniel Jones is still his team's quarterback, which is just ridiculous when you think about it. So, that's how bad this Giants offense is. So, it's just crazy, in my opinion. Or just in general. Yeah, okay. Outside of that, oh yeah, for the Ravens, I guess, whenever you can get starters out, especially before a short week for what could decide the division, is huge. Obviously, that's with that. DeVito got concussed. Boyle comes in and is in a walking boot. What else did I say on that? Brock Purdy style as an emergency backup. Of course, Brock, again, if Tim Boyle would have gotten hurt. And obviously, that is completely rock bottom when you think about it. But, of course, Tim Boyle is their 4th-string quarterback, which is just, I don't even know how that's possible. Also, I know on Tim Boyle, how is he still in the NFL? It's like a DEI hire. I really don't understand it. Not trying to get too political there. Outside of that, though, the running game was atrocious. I guess he scored a touchdown. Malik Neighbors, honestly, probably is one of his better games of the year. He really dominated a lot. No, he actually played great. But still, defensively, this secondary needs to be completely overhauled. I really, again, maybe outside Tyler Newman, every single guy in that secondary just needs to get dumped. Drew Phillips, I guess you could try to develop. But outside of that, like, I really don't see where this secondary is going. Dan Bellin, I'm sorry. Again, I love his hustle. I love his tenacity. I love his aggressiveness. But he just really isn't good enough, to be honest with you guys. Outside of that, though, that's really all I got for the Giants, guys, because, I mean, like, this is so bad. Anyway, though, yeah, team stats, I guess, if you want to look at that. The Giants had some yardage, I guess, not really. Again, the Ravens started for 170 yards, but they did not win the time possession. I guess you get that, Giants fans. Anyway, though, yeah, this game wasn't even close, as expected. Anyway, though, now we get to the tank bowl.
Aaron Rodgers, coming off his best game of the year, is out to put an end to the Jets' 4-game losing skid. Tank Bigsby fake to him. Jones floats one, end zone. Thomas, that's a touchdown, Jacksonville. Wilson went downfield, and it's a fake, and moving for the first down, and still going across midfield, high in the air. Receiving season. Rodgers handles the high snap, and there's in the middle of the field, Garrett Wilson for a Jones. Deep. Duvernay, and it's intercepted inside the 50. Jones splits away. He's going to run and spin and get the first down at the 25.
These guys right here, we get a little slant from Devontae Adams right here at the top.
With the delay blitz. There it is. Right on target down the middle of the field. Now on the back, Garrett Wilson, bottom of your screen. And it's for Devontae. He pulls it in, and that's a touchdown.
You to be the aggressor, take what I like to call take the passive out of pass protection.
On 3rd down, there's Brady Thomas. Can he take it in? Yes, he can. For knocking that loose, Carlson, and he's off the mark. Deep for Adams. He's got Devontae Adams. Adams is going to take it into the end zone for a Jets. Rodgers throw on 3rd and 10, the sideline, Devontae Adams.
You gotta be kidding.
Did he keep his feet in the... Need 5. Rodgers throws wide open. He's going to get the first down, and he's going to get a lot more. All the way down inside the 10. This is the Jets and the Jags this season, and they're going to let him score. 3rd and a yard. Jones throwing. And it's intercepted by Sauce Gardner.
Let's talk about who. In what was the Jets' first win since Halloween, they of course get a fun one. Again, out the window, I guess they 32-25. Crazy game overall. Of course, over the Jaguars, who again are Jaguars, who of course kind of make up for last week's debacle, as they now fall to 3-11, thank God, and are well on their way to a top 5 pick. If I had to guess, they're playing somebody next week. Who are they playing? They're playing the Raiders. Oh my God, another tank bowl. Like 3rd straight week for the Jags in tank bowl. That might be like a new red. That's like a generational run. That's like really hard to do though. Think about it. If you play 3 straight weeks in tank bowl, really hard to again go 0-3, but. Again, that's not going to happen for them, obviously. They lost. They won against Titans last week. But still, Jets, they're trying to throw a wrench in the Rams season that week. And again, with how they played on offense this week, who knows how that game's going to go. Aaron Rodgers, though, 16 of 30, 289, and 3 touchdowns. Again, vintage Rodgers, I guess. I don't know why we're saying it's vintage Rodgers. I mean, maybe because he's washed, if I had to guess. I don't know. But still, Aaron Rodgers had a huge second half after only having 3. Well, I guess we'll just get to that on the Jags takeaway. Yeah. Jags, yeah, more Jags. Yeah, all right. I talked about that. Jags, yeah, all right. They didn't run the ball well at all. They had Aaron Rodgers was their leading rusher. That's crazy. Devontae Adams, second highest career yardage game. I think I have it here. Also, his 100th career touchdown. Again, that's just a crazy game to have that. Second most yards in a game. Of course, they needed that. Again, they really needed it. Of course, at the Bengals in Week 5 of 2021. Well, look at that game. That was crazy. He had in a 25-22 victory. He had 206 yards, touchdown, 11 catches. Again, it looks like the old Devontae Adams, I guess. I don't know. This is his best game he had since that one for sure, though. Obviously because of yardage, but still. Garrett Wilson was good as well. You know, it's Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers, old times for those two guys. Defensively, they really didn't play that well at all. Sauce, I guess, had his best game since, like, Week 4. He has not had the greatest year overall. I mean, PFF can just support that. And especially on film. Sauce just has not looked as sharp as he usually does. Yeah, where we go. I mean, it's not, I think it's a little bit overblown, but still, like, Sauce has not been he's not been the same dude. If that actually loads. Yeah. Yeah, you guys can see he's not been the greatest. I mean, he's been fine, but like not where you're used to seeing that of him. He's not the best corner in the league. It's definitely not this year. Pass rush was kind of lacking, to be honest with you guys. I will say Anders Carlson missing that field goal did not help matters either, but he's still been a good player for them so far. Mac Jones, best game as a Jaguar so far by far, which is not a good thing. So it's not a high bar either. But of course, Jags. I guess we'll just go run through all their takeaways. First thing first. Jags defense, again, this is just overall. Jags defense has talent, but secondary has terrible communication. Oh, yeah, that was awful. Oh, my God. I don't know what they were trying to do on some of those plays. Outside of game-losing interception to Sauce, Mac also played well. I got to give him that. He did play a pretty darn good game overall. Jags, yeah, this is about for the half. Jags, at least for the first half overall. Jags should have been up by a lot more than 13-7 at the half. Considering A-Rod had three total completions in the first half. Again, in 45-17 total plays. Again, for the plays difference. Brian Thomas Jr. is also a wide receiver one down. Whatever, though. Pretty simple there. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, that's what happened. They should have been up by more. And then, of course, Jeremiah Ledbetter, of course, you saw in the intro. That was a crazy flip. Oh, my God. Outside of that, though, Jackson's fourth straight true home game. Again, I think that the last time they won was... I can't even tell you the last time they won. It's been a while. Yeah, Adams 71-yard touchdown, also the longest career. A lot of stuff happened in this one, guys. Running game was actually pretty decent. If they actually, you know, like did it a little bit more, I think they would have had, I don't know, a better chance to win. Brian Thomas Jr. is a true wide receiver talent, number one. He's not an actual wide receiver one just yet. Well, he is, but like, I think he could get even better as like in terms of like overall play. He could be definitely a top 5 receiver in the league if he really wants to be. Brandon Streams, 11 catches, 73 yards. He was good, I guess. He's the starting tight end for the rest of the year, guys. I would be surprised if maybe Evan Ingram comes. We'll see. Just have to wait and see. Defense already talked about, and of course for the team stats, both teams had over 400 yards of offense. This was a dandy of a game for a tank bowl. Really underrated overall. But with that said, that's all I got for you guys here. Again, not really much at stake. Now let's get to a game that had a lot at stake. No, not really. But anyway, this was a disaster. Sloppiest game of the day. But hey. Joe Burrow at least keeps his streak alive, sort of.
Nobody has shined brighter as a combo this year than Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. Can the Titans, on their home field, slow them down today?
One of the best in the game the last few years. Burrow with good protection over the middle, a little wobbly, and it's intercepted by Cedric Gray. It's as big as you can get. Second and goal. Pollard up the middle into the end zone. Burrow looking, has time. Dancing around, pocket breaking down, eludes it. Another man he skips around, throws for the touch.
A little bit of pressure.
Here it comes. Levis will sit in, floats it out there. He's got a man, and it's Tyler Boyd, and the former Bengal on the run. On second down, Spears going up top, sticks the ball across, and for sure he's in this time. Second and goal from the 9. Burrow under pressure again, and this time he'll go down. Or Willie, and Levis under pressure, and down he goes. The ball popping out at the end of the play. Burrow to the end zone. Juggling catch is made by Sam Hubbard. 6 defensive backs out there for the Bengals on 3rd and 7. Levis with time to the sideline, intercepted. Burrow looking deep. He's got Higgins out there. Caught. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Levis over the middle. Tipped and intercepted. Right into the hands of Mike Hilton. 3rd and 7. Here comes Murray up the middle on pressure. Burrow floats it towards Chase, and a diving interception. First down over the middle, and it's intercepted. Geno Stone on the run, looking for a block. Stone into the end zone. Bengal touchdown. Down. Pollard lost the handle on it. Ball loose on the turf. Scooped up by the Bengals. And on the run goes Jordan Battle. Down the sideline. Battle breaks away from Rudolph and everybody else. It's a touchdown.
About that Pittsburgh game when they went with a little bit different style against Russell Wilson.
Tipped at the line and it's intercepted. Josh Newton.
You know, you're not looking for him. You're not hunting him every snap.
There's Spears up the middle. Tajay Spears with a Titans touchdown. Brown again lowers the helmet, lowers the pads, driving toward the goal line. Touchdown. And the extra point. The toss. And Spears out of bounds.
Overs and the penalties, those are things to get you beat.
Rudolph, final play of the game. Spins away from pressure, directing traffic to the end zone. Caught for the touchdown.
Let's talk about dreams. Alright, for this Bengals game, of course, biggest thing, honestly, I guess, because, I mean, are the Bengals going to really make the playoffs? Joe Burrow, technically, 6 straight games with over 270 passing yards. No, it's 250 passing yards. And 3 or more passing touchdowns. He, of course, leads the league and has a chance of throwing 45 if he really gets on a heater these last 3 weeks. I mean, he's already been on a heater, but you get the point. Bengals are now 6-8, back-to-back wins against inferior opponents, I guess, of course, both on the road. They will be hosting the Browns next week in a game they really don't want to lose, of course, before. They got a crack at maybe pulling off some wild Houdini magic, of course, if the Broncos do, in fact, lose the Chargers on Thursday night. They have a chance to, you know, be a game back of them going into Week 18, of course, if they're able to beat them on the presumed Saturday game. I don't know. Bengals put up a boatload of points, though. I'll give them that. But again, the Titans, again, we'll get to them in a second. But still, Burrow again has the streak. Burrow's throw of the year to Higgins for a 30-yard touchdown. Yeah, that was a beauty of throw. Higgins, obviously, with the play there. Jamar Chase, I think he's like the 4th, 5th player, something like that, ever with 100 catches on 1,400 yards. 15 touchdowns, and if he does have a monster or just one crazy game down the stretch, he might be able to rival Cooper, get the Triple Crown. I don't know for sure, but we'll have to wait and see for that. Again, Burrow, too bad. And the interception, one of them was really bad. The other one, I guess you could just go with. The fumble also was going to get 3 turnovers. I will say Burrow's turned over the ball a decent amount this year. Not as much as he did not last year or the year before that. He did turn over the ball a good amount in 2021, I'll say that, though. But it's Chase Brown, solid game, I guess, did have a touchdown. They didn't really block too well for him. Chase Brown, obviously, with the receiving touchdown, as well as Sam Hubbard, obviously, outside the backfield. Too bad that he'll probably be out this next upcoming week. Okay. That's more Titans. Bengals, we'll get to their defense in a second. I think that's all I got for them, though. All right. Was that more on it? I'll get that in a second. Anyway, though, for the Bengals defense, secondary played with anticipation. Again, this is through the film. / confidence in zone. Geno Stone has had his best game of the season. Yeah, of course, they had 6 takeaways, which is just crazy when you think about it. Keem Davis gave them 12 tackles. He was a beast. Cam Taylor, again, he had a 6 tackles pick. I think he had the pick 6. It was one of these guys. Whoever had that scoop and score, Jordan Battle, they had 4 interceptions, Jesus. But of course, Jordan Battle booted the game-winning touchdown. Again, it was ominous of what happened in the Broncos game later, but still, overall for this defense, they flew around. They had their best game of the season. I mean, you can't really ask for much better. For the Titans, I guess the first thing I'll talk about is Will Levis bench. Mason Rudolph comes in relief / garbage time. Again, all that was garbage time. Tyler Spears looks like A-Chain with the Guardian cap. I just want to mention that because it looks weird. But still, again, he led them receiving. Again, fantasy team who had him, again, would be really happy with those garbage time stats. Will Levis was completely atrocious. I mean, he's played himself out of a starting job next year, obviously, with these performances the past couple weeks. Mason Rudolph, I guess, was good in garbage time. Again, really good numbers, I guess, there. O-line sucked. Defensively, they're not very good. Yeah. Will Levis back-to-back interceptions were horrible progressions. Again, both of them were. And obviously, took Tennessee out of the game. Sam Hubbard, obviously, with the touchdown as well. I'd like to mention that. Titans only created good pockets, some penetration. Yeah. I said they played horrible, but they weren't that bad. I don't know. I think that was like early in the game that I wrote that down. I don't really remember that. Oh, yeah. His third was a read like a book. Yeah, he has played himself out of the starting job. Outside of that, though, that's really all I got for this game, guys. I mean, it was really bad. Oh, yeah, Javonte Smith, holy crap, what a stiff arm. But still, this game really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. But still, it was fun to watch. Stats were up for sure. Again, 6 turnovers is just insane when you think about it. But with that said, that's really all I got for you guys in this game. Third down efficiency, 10 of 13. Oh, yeah, 24 run answer for the Bengals as well. That's all I got for you guys in this one. Now let's get to a game that actually had playoff implications, especially for the team that might even be able to clinch a playoff spot as of next week.
Professional start. Saints quarterback Jake Hayner is extremely confident, and it all stems from his preparation. He told me, I have been working towards this moment for my entire life, and I...
Looking, moving to his left, under pressure, stays on his feet. Now end zone, it is caught. Stays on his feet, throws back the other way, and it's intercepted. It is picked off for everyone out there. Third down and 3. Here's Daniels. Oh, what a catch! And it's taken down inside the 5. Daniels fakes the handoff, throws to the end zone. Touchdown, McLaurin. Now Cedric Wilson fires across the field. Kamara makes the catch. Touchdown. Second down, 14. Daniels wrapped up, making a 2-score game. Joseph from 54. The voodoo continues.
But they're not going to be prepared for the run.
All right, here we go. Rattler throws. End zone. Touchdown. Foster Morrow. All right, here we go. Rattler for the win. He throws. It's incomplete. And the Commanders.
Excuse the last graphic. Yeah, it should have been the big game. I mean, it was. It was arguably the best game of the early window. I mean, it wasn't like that for most of this game, of course, as the Commanders dominated the Saints. We're up 17-0 midway through the third quarter. But, again, the Saints kind of made things interesting and almost actually won this one. Anyway, though, the Commanders' score moved to 9-5. First winning season since 2015, which is crazy. But, yeah, that's how it's going, I guess. They obviously have a very good shot at making the playoffs. I mean, it's very, very likely they will. They got the Eagles next week at home. And, again, if Jaden Daniels is able to ball out and they somehow beat the Eagles, I will just tell you right now he's winning rookie there, considering he is now the 4th quarterback ever, again, all of them since 2011, to throw for 3,000 yards and 500 rushing yards in the same season, of course, as a rookie. Cam Newton did it when he threw for his only 4,000-yard year in 2011, obviously his rookie year. Kyler Murray did it in 2019, also RG3 in that legendary 2012 rookie year as well. So, yes, if Jaden is able to somehow, if he balls out next week and, again, it's close, or they beat the Eagles, I will just say, yeah, he's winning offensive rookie of the year. As good as Brock Bowers has been, I mean, that team's just awful, and Bo Nix has played himself out of that conversation very, very much over the past 2 games. Anyway, though, yeah, they still get the W. Back-to-back wins. They've recovered very nicely. Again, against inferior opponents for sure. But, again, still getting Ws. Obviously, I guess it was revenge from that 2018 game. Whatever. They get the W. They got to get the Eagles next week before they get the Falcons, like Giants. Not Giants. Cowboys the last 2 weeks of the season. Anyway, though, Jaden Daniels was very good. 25-31, 296, 2 touchdowns. Very decisive on throws over the middle. I don't think I wrote that, though. I think I might have wrote the opposite. Yeah, okay. They did the Commanders almost blew that lead in the mid-third. They ain't doing anything in the playoffs, which I still believe. I don't think this team's winning a playoff game. Just telling you guys right now. If as a 7 seed, they have no chance of going to Philly or Detroit or really competing. Maybe they put up some points, but still. Commanders had over 40 minutes possession and 137 and barely won. Good O-line play. They actually played really well. First win since... Yeah, winning season, I already talked about that. Jane needs to navigate the pocket better. He had 2 bad sacks. That's really the only criticism I got for him. Again, he ran around really well, I guess, but still. 2 bad sacks. They did run the ball overall really well, though. Again, Brian Thomas not efficient, but it worked. Again, Jane had some nice runs as well. Terry McLaurin, 4th game of the season with 2 or more touchdowns. I don't know if that's any sort of record, but it's something. Maybe for the team. Again, leads league on there, I think, as well. I'd be surprised if he didn't. Maybe Jamar Chase, something like that, too. After that, though, no one really stepped as a receiver. Zach Ertz did have a hell of a catch before he left the game with injury. I hope he's good. But again, the O-line played well. Overall, it was a grinded-out game for this offense. Figured it out. Defensively, they actually won them the game, considering, again, they blew it at the end there. But still, again, stopping the 2-1 conversion. Again, get by, I guess, is the best way we can put it for this defense, and they did enough to win it. Greg Joseph breaks the field goal. That was atrocious, but he's going to do that once in a while. For the Saints, Spencer Rattler is the best backup quarterback on the team, I guess. Again, tremendous losers is better than him, again, obviously. Jake Haener played, again, remind me of what Jaron Hall did last year. Again, he threw absolutely god-awful interception across body there. That was really bad. Outside of that, though, Kamara touchdown was crazy on the trick play. Again, it was the play of the day from Cedric Wilson Jr., obviously. As well, Kamara 50 is the rushing touchdown, 25 receiving touchdowns, most for our fourth player ever to do that, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, Alvin Kamara is, again, been a great player for this team for a while. But again, kind of a mess there. Again, Saints are not making the playoffs. I think they're playing the... who are the Saints playing next week? Oh, they're playing against the Packers on Monday Night Football. That would be some upset if you... but that's not happening, obviously. Defensively, I mean, kind of just like a whatever game. Chase Young was great. They got a lot of pressure, though. I'll give them that. Again, it wasn't because exactly they were winning. Again, I do think the protection wasn't. I think they just completely won out front a lot of the time, though. On film, it wasn't like, and it was weird, but still, good job. Again, overall with pass rush, they contained Jane pretty well. Again, outside of some runs, but still. Yeah, the Commanders said outgained him and get more possession. Didn't matter though, because of course at the end, that's really what the game came down to. 9 of 17 on third down. That was also pretty nice to see there. With that said, though, the Commanders obviously get the big W. They will be seeing if they get double-digit wins for the first time since 2015 as well next week. With that said, though, let's get to, of course, I guess what was the national game. It really wasn't good anyway.
Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Here's Young on the move. Young eyes downfield. It's Parsons missed with a spin move and dives ahead. Lost the ball. Dallas is on it. It allows them to lean on that run game. Couple big plays on third down on this drive. 3rd and 4. Rush end zone. Lamb adjusts in a fitting way for this drive to end. Here, 3rd down. He goes for him and it's broken up and intercepted. Jordan Lewis got his hand on it. Trying to keep this a 2-score game going into the break. Put on the ground and recovered by Carolina. DJ Johnson. 42 seconds, 2 timeouts. See what Carolina can do. Young goes up top and there's Jalen Coker. The rookie in a foot race that he'll win. 50-yarder would be an NFL record. Aubrey, if anybody can do it, it'd be him, but he hooks it. And here comes Tompkins to begin this second half with the throw. And it's knocked down. Games out when you have a lead. Takes the fake here. Rush sets his feet. Back of the end zone. Jalen Tolbert for the Dallas touchdown. Scan the field. Got a man coming open in the back of the end zone. Jalen Brooks hangs on for the touchdown. 3rd of the day for Young. Steps up. Parsons chases him and gets him. The ball is out. Trembles on top of it. Young moves off his spot. Directs traffic. Runs towards the end zone and he's in. Touchdown Carolina. 10. Dallas bails out of a blitz look. Young over the top. It's picked off by Mukwamu. Israel Mukwamu.
And the Cowboys went into Carolina, got the big W, of course, knocking off the Panthers 30-14 in what was, I guess, a win. One of the more dominating games of the year overall, of course, getting the 6 wins, which, of course, gives McCarthy, gets the tie from, of course, his 2020 record. Also, the other year, they did make the playoffs with them, of course, with Dak after the season. But with that said, yeah, this game didn't, well, I'll get to that in a second. Brandon Aubrey's 7-yard field goal, that might have been the best play of the game. Obviously missed it, and it was returned, but still, that was pretty funny. Cowboys will try to mess up Bucs playoff run, or Bucs playoff chase, I guess. Of course, next week, they have them on Sunday Night Football at home. Panthers are going to look to ruin the Cardinals' playoff chances next week at home as well, but that doesn't really look like it's going to happen considering how well they played in this one. Outside of that, though, I got 2 things on that. Anything else in the Cowboys? Oh, yeah. Cowboys 3 wins out of the last 4. Again, after that 5-game winning streak, I'd like to mention that. Again, they've been playing better. 6 wins on McCarthy. Again, Lamb has had like the exact same performance. I mean, he played a lot better later, but still, yeah, like the first half, like the exact same thing we saw from last week, which again I guess was good first quarter or first drive, but after that it was just not good. So stepped in the second half a little bit though, and also CeeDee Lamb 4th straight 1,000-yard season. He's just one of the best receivers in the league. Cooper Rush, one of his best games of the season with the team, obviously 18 of 29, 214, 3 touchdowns. Very good in the pocket. A couple of throws were a little questionable, but still was really good. Running game, Rico Dowdle cooked up with 150 yards. He's playing for his job, so he's going to really try to cook up. Outside of that, though, I mean, Jalen Brooks' first career touchdown. Where was Jalen Tolbert last week? I did not see him on the field. Caught a touchdown this week, though, on a nice play. Defensively, I don't know. They looked good overall. They got after Bryce Young. I don't think their contain was very good, though. Osa Odigizua on the strip sack was just, he burned Robert Hunt, and he just showed who he is on that one play. Eric Kendricks obviously with the interception, as well as Israel McCamu on the double coverage play. Overall, though, this defense swarmed and played really good football as expected. Brandon Aubrey obviously missed that one field goal. For the Panthers, Bryce Young, big step back. Don't pull Will Levis and get your starting job. Again, he should have pretty much next year, if I had to guess, but we'll just wait and see, obviously. But not a great game overall from Bryce Young. He did move around a little bit better, though. Obviously got chased down a couple times, fumbled a couple times, but still, I like that out of him. But overall, he did not play well at all. Again, it was a big regression game overall for him. Yeah, worst game in a while. Don't pull this. Outside that, though, yeah. All right. Chuba Hubbard did not really get much of a game plan there. Jim Coker had the 83-yard touchdown. Again, okay. This is just in general for the Cowboys. Didn't really matter, but Jalen Coker 83-yard touchdown from longest of Young's career, as well as Jalen Coker. After Cooper Rush booted snap up 10, I think that was pretty bad, with a chance to be up 17-0 at the half, instead of 10-7 with Panthers getting the ball at the second half. I'm telling you, if they were playing a better team in that instance, the Cowboys would have gotten boat raced in that instance. With that said, defensively, kind of like a non-factor game for them overall. They just didn't really play too great. Again, got the ball moved on them pretty easily. Kind of what you got expected there. Again, 400 yards of offense for the Cowboys. Had 211 rushing yards. That's more what you're used to seeing out of that Panthers run defense. Four total turnovers there, obviously all from Bryce Young. With that said, let's roll off for you guys in this game. Kind of like, I guess, what you'd expect if the Panthers weren't playing well the past 3 weeks. Anyway, though, 30-14 win for the Cowboys. Now let's get to a game that obviously a lot of people, especially Chiefs fans, are worried about.
JB expecting a wet Sunday here at Huntington Bank Field. Kansas City coming in tied with Detroit for the best record in the NFL. The AFC. He's in no rush. James Prochet, who was elevated, catches and then loses the football. It's free in Kansas City history. Mahomes, flip it, catch. Juju Smith-Schuster dives for the score. That's what you look for in the NFL. Win your matchups. Winston is going to lose this matchup. Has the time. Jab step. Wide open for the touchdown. Noah Gray is flanking Winston. Winston looking to throw for it. Downfield. It's Butker. He missed it. Putting 4 yards of offense in the first half for Cleveland. Play action. Winston, soft toss, and it pinballs back. Chubb loses it. Kick. On his scrimmage is now the 21. Spin it over to Worthy. Down the sideline. Cuts it inside for the touchdown. Touchdown. Instead, it's 2 touchdowns through the air. Handoff to Nick Chubb. And Chubb coughs it up. Get that right cleat back on. Winston, rush coming. They slap the ball away. Second and 23, handoff Ford. And Ford, clean cut to the outside. And Ford takes it all the way. He is sub 50% on his completion rate. And that's 8 straight now because of the pressure. Whitehart, the tight end. Winston steps up. Winston downfield. End zone. On his knees. Intercepted. Down in 1. Down to 1:25 to go. Top to Robinson. Intercepted. And that's going to end it.
The things that keep us up all night. Let's talk about who.
And obviously the Mahomes injury has the Chiefs fans in a little bit of worry, but the good news for them is they're 13-1 and now actually hold the best record in the league for the first time since week 11. Oh, look, it's so long ago. Anyway, though, of course, the Chiefs get another, I guess this is actually comfortable when you think about it, of course, with the 27-1 victory over the lost season Cleveland Browns, who, of course, are not really going anywhere good, considering they've gone downhill after that game against the Steelers a couple weeks ago. Anyway, though, of course, they fall to 3-11 and off, again, worst record now, of course, with their 11th loss of the season under Kevin Stefanski, of course, that dating back to 2020. They will be, again, playing the Bengals next week. Chiefs, obviously, second of their 3 games in 11 days on Saturday, hosting the Texans in what could be a big game to decide, again, if they get the 1 seed or not. But still, Mahomes, concerning on the injury, but the good thing for them, again, 50% completion percentage, didn't look too great. But again, injury and all, again, mild ankle, high ankle sprain, week to week, that's what we got right now. Carson Wentz, obviously, I think he's a capable backup. There's a reason he would have won MVP there back in 2017. He, had that just kind of fall there with the Commanders in 2022. Obviously, the end of 2020 was ugly with the Colts as well. But Carson Wentz, still a capable backup, guys. He can do a lot for this team in terms of, again, also making second-level plays. Even, again, he's not the same guy he was 6 or 7 years ago. Running game was not good. Kareem Hunt getting the same amount of carries as Isaiah Pacheco. I like it. Isaiah Pacheco, again, he's obviously the much better back. But in terms of power and overall, these guys, again, having a balanced running game, that's what I'd like to see. Even if, again, Isaiah Pacheco will probably get more carries in the playoffs. Xavier Worthy with the touchdown was nice to see. Again, gadget play there. Receiving-wise, DeAndre Hopkins should have had a big play, but whatever. Outside of that, though, no one really stepped up in the receiving game. Didn't really need to, though. Noah Gray, obviously, Juju with those 2 touchdowns. I think I have a ton of stuff on the Browns because I don't really much on the Chiefs in this one. I didn't like much overall. Hopkins should have had a deep catch there. Second 13-1 start, obviously, 2020, the other season that happened as well. Obviously, under Mahomes. Outside of that, though, defensively, I mean, George Karlaftis had 2 nice sacks. They dominated overall. It looks like they're cranking up like they seem to do every single year when it comes to the postseason. Harrison Butker missing the field goal was really bad on the 29-yarder, but hey, I guess that's his welcome back for everybody. Jameis Winston was atrocious. This Browns offense overall was atrocious. 6 turnovers, most since Belichick was around back in 1993 as their head coach, which is crazy. They had almost as many turnovers at 6 as they had total points at 7, so brutal offensive performance. Obviously, Nick Bolton uses Chubb to prevent ball from hitting the ground, then rips the ball away on the crazy interception. I guess that's not good. That might have been the play that Chubb got injured. I don't know for sure. Jameis sucks. He does. Got benched. GTR comes in as Cleveland has a worst record under, It's really bad. Third 2-score such double-digit win a year for the Chiefs. Again, outside of that, I really don't know too much on this game, guys. It was really bad. Outside of that, again, Jerry Jeudy, 11 catches, 108 yards. Defensively, they, again, all year, they really didn't have a chance, guys. Let's be honest. This Browns defense, even if they were the best defense in football, they would not be better than 6 and 7 at the very best. And that's like putting it really nicely. Yeah, that's really all I got for, again, 6 turnovers is crazy. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys here. Chiefs, obviously, big game next week, and the Browns really didn't do anything in this one. Now let's get to the late window. Of course, first game, not too big, but Cardinals didn't blow their playoff chances in this one.
Well, the heat is on out here in the desert, but it's not because of the temperatures. As the New England Patriots are in town to take on the Arizona Cardinals, it's big. That's Harrison in motion. They go to Connor. Connor running hard, as he always does, to the left, and he's into the open field. He could go. He's tripped up from behind, and then eventually. Second down and 3. They hand it off to Dortch. Dortch to his left, trying to get to the edge, and he's inside the 5, down to the 1. They shovel it to Stevenson. Stevenson trying to get to the outside, and he's able to power through. To Stevenson. And Stevenson is stopped at the line of scrimmage, and all is going to depend on
where it needed to be.
On second down in the middle of the field. This time, Mooney fumbles it into the air. It's picked off by. They put the extra lineman in the backfield. They give it to Connor, and Connor dances in. Touchdown, Cardinals. May looking for it all, looking for the end zone. And a diving catch. Kendrick Bourne is able to reel it in. Assess the players that they have. Douglas in motion. May likes him. May pumps. May's looking for the pylon. He shovels it forward. It's caught effectively, and it's disciplined. McBride, by the way, is on the sidelines. They give it to Connor, and Connor with another score. May 19 of 23. He does have a touchdown pass today, 202 yards. May rolls the pocket. May might roll himself into the end zone. Touchdown.
I forgot.
And the Cardinals, of course, snapped their 3-game losing streak and first win off since the forced bye week with a decisive 30-17 win over the Patriots. Of course, now fall at 3-11. It's of course been a very long year for the Patriots, and now next week they have to travel out to Buffalo for what's going to be a game. That's what I'll put it. Cardinals, obviously, big game against the Panthers next week. They need to win that one, more or less, to again stay in the NFC division race, but again, West division race. But again, if they're able to take care of their business against the Panthers, they're playing more or less for the division against the Rams there in Week 17. With that said, though, for this game, Cardinals' best rushing attack since the bye. Obviously, James Conner proved me wrong in terms of what I said in the preview. But still, outside of that, though, Kyler gets injured again versus the Patriots. Shouldn't play against them, I guess. Just bench him. I don't know. But obviously, that's what's going on there. For the Patriots, Patriots offense didn't really do anything in terms of converting until garbage time. In terms of, again, they did move the football somewhat, but it really didn't matter because, again, we weren't finishing off drives. Patriots secondary does have potential. I'm going to keep saying that throughout the offseason unless, again, they blow it up, which I guess could happen. Outside of that, though, again, this game wasn't, again, the biggest thing in terms of takeaways, considering, again, the Patriots are bad, the Cardinals are good. Not good. They're decent. Or actually, they could be good. Running game, they didn't really get into it considering they were down by so much. Drake May did have a nice touchdown again. The flip throw to, who was it? Demario Douglas was pretty good. Kendrick Bourne is probably still the best receiver on this team despite being one of the oldest, like being older. Keishan Booty, he has brick hands. Oh my god, that was such a bad interception. He does have talent though, so that is something. Who's got the catch? Yeah, I think it was. Who even had the big catch? I think it was Kendrick Bourne. Defensively, again, secondary played pretty decent. Overall though, I mean, they kind of just got punched in the mouth. Joey Sly missed that one field goal. Didn't really remember that. Cardinals, Kyler, again, overall bounce back game. Again, nice 6.9 yards per carry there for James Conner. Receiving-wise, again, Trey McBride continues his great season. Greg Dortch had a big play. Marvin Harrison still getting targeted, but didn't really have the greatest game. Defensively, Budda Baker and Jalen Thompson. Best run defense duo, again, at safety in the league. And, oh, yeah, who's going to be on this Patriots offense next year? That's my question. My guess is Ramondre Stevenson will be, Baker will be, not Baker, Jesus. Casual moment right there. Drake May and Mike Onwenu. Everybody else, your guess is good as mine. Chad Ryland had 3 field goals, and then outside of that, I mean, team stats, again, the Cardinals had over 400 near 400 yards of offense, controlled the clock pretty well, got the big W. I mean, 10 of 15 on third down. The Patriots didn't even convert a third down. Again, got the W there. It's really well for you guys here. I will say the Patriots were pretty efficient overall, though. 6.3 yards per play. Something to build off there. Anyway, though, let's get to the game that obviously the biggest playoff implications overall in the late window.
In almost a decade, Broncos and Colts ready to get it on in a game that has massive playoff implications at the bottom of the Colts. This is Richardson, the sleight of hand. He's got the room. Richardson in touchdown. And the perfect defense, and he picks it up. Nix's pass is picked, and it's Franklin. The lead in sacks. Here they come. Richardson, that pass, well, he ripped it back. Richardson.
Blackman on the 1-yard line. That was forced by Franklin.
On 2nd and 10, Nix to the end zone. Touchdown. It's 150 pounds of muscle. Richardson puts some air under it. Richardson's pass, and it is picked. Brandon Jones. 3rd and 1, they go play action here. Nix up the seam. Nix is picked again. The team throwing in the first half. Taylor breaking away. Taylor, touchdown.
Is not the 3 receiver sets.
Nix with that pass, and it's picked off. Nick Cross. Interception of Bo Nix. Richardson and company back onto the field. Richardson somehow gets it out to Pittman, and then the football comes out, and Denver has it. All-Pro Bowler was return man last year. Big play out of the backfield. It's the fullback Atkins, and he punches it in.
Can hit the run game.
They set up Mitchell. It's going to be a double pass, and that one is intercepted. It's Bonito. 40-plus against that Lions team. Unbelievable. That pass from Richardson is intercepted. Nix on a 3rd and 6 going back towards the end zone. Sutton all by himself for the touchdown.
And, of course, this game was a tale of really one play. Of course, Jonathan Taylor, I guess, didn't really watch that Halloween game with Malachi Corley or, I don't know, Deshaun Jackson. As, of course, Jonathan Taylor booted the game away as he checked the ball out of the end zone, you know, like one of these little flips before he got it on was a breakaway 41-yard run. Ended up being a fumble. Fantasy owners were pissed, as they should be. That should have been a touchdown. They lost points, I think, something like that on it. But of course, the Colts should have been up 20-7. What would have honestly, I think, won them the game, or not for sure, but they would have been in a good spot considering how bad that Broncos offense was playing. Instead, the game completely flipped on its head, and the Broncos just stampeded, led by their defense, obviously, on their way to the big-time statement win over the Colts, who, of course, now found 6-8, and are probably not making the playoffs. They do have the Titans at home next week, so maybe they get back to 7-8. Broncos have got a huge game against the Chargers on Thursday Night Football, which probably would decide the 6 seed if I had to guess. Who knows how things could go with that, obviously, though. With that said, though, Anthony Richardson was not good. I mean, Big Tony, just not great overall. So, I mean, you could blame him, I guess, as well. 17 of 38, 272, as well as the 2 interceptions that just, it wasn't great there. Big Tony is all over the place, as we already know, but, like, it's getting a little bit of, like, a liability now. JT, obviously, he had a good game out to that one play. AR has a 24-yard rushing touchdown early. Receiving-wise, Michael Pittman just hasn't been great this year. Again, it's partly because Big Tony just isn't really the quarterback that's be completely reliable with getting the football. Kyler Granson did have a nice play, though. Overall, though, for this offense, it was just all over the place. Again, too many huge mistakes, and again, overall, it wasn't good enough. Again, in a lot of ways. Obviously, Ashton Doolin, that was an unfortunate fumble there. Obviously, basically a pick six there. It was a mess. Defensively, they had 3 interceptions. They forced like 4 turnovers or something. They should have won this team the game. DeForest Buckner also had a nice sack, and it was really unfortunate there at the end. There, kind of like fell off considering they get 21 points. But overall, though, for this Colts defense, it's unfortunate because they played for most of this game, played one of their better games of their year. Matt Gay obviously with the 2 field goals as well, so the defense basically showed up. Offense did not. Bo Nix, one of the weirdest stat lines you'll ever see, 20 of 33, 230 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He really played bad in this one, I guess. Yeah, it was not a good game at all. He did lead them rushing, though, which tells you where they're at on offense. Cortland Sutton led him receiving, had a touchdown. Evan Trautman also had a touchdown, as well as Nate Atkins. A lot of guys got targeted in this one. And overall, this offense just isn't very good. Definitely not one of that. It's definitely gonna be when we go in the playoffs. Probably the worst overall group in the league. Or at least he's gonna make the playoffs. Broncos do lose their 4th straight game, season ending in Week 16 last year. Make it different in LA on Thursday. Obviously they're making the playoffs. But yeah. Worst play of the year on the Adonai Mitchell pick 6. I don't know. That was a mess. First winning season for the Broncos since 2016. Of course, they didn't make the playoffs that year, so maybe something to turn around this time. All right. For the Colts, we got kind of like an overall season encompassing thing here. The reason why the Colts underachieved are this year is because they don't finish games and take advantage of opportunities against good teams or decent teams. So that's something for them to work on next year. Yeah, Bo had a very good finish, I guess, but what the heck? All right, but has what did I say? But has but has terrible field vision, which is true. He does go through these progressions pretty well, and his touch isn't great, but just field vision is just really off. And what that is basically your natural feel in the pocket. Yeah, am I supposed to make that throw? Do I see the guy? No, I don't. I'm still gonna make that throw. It was a mess. His footwork also needs some work. Yeah, Colts obviously the ropes, blah blah blah. Jonathan Taylor. Nick Benito, he is an elite pass rusher, guys. Or just overall defender. He's so good. Outside of that, though, I don't really think I have too much else on this one. Yeah, that's about it. Oh yeah, Broncos have the most electric defense in the league, which I think is very fair. Of course, they forced 3 turnovers. Not the pressure. It was not great, but where is he? Zach Allen had 5 pressures anyway. But yeah, this was just the defense is so good. Neither offense is really moving the ball particularly well. 5 turnovers though by the Colts. 3 obviously by Bo Nix there as well. So this game was all over the place. But again, the Broncos were able to get kind of a skewed win here. Huge win for them, obviously, in the playoff picture. And as a result, they will probably make the playoffs. With that said, though, that's all I got for you guys in this one. Let's get to a game that also had pretty big playoff implications. And obviously ended, I guess, somewhat with a similar output. Really not the same performance by the winning team, though.
Country trip for Baker and the Bucs, sitting at the top of the NFC South, trying to lock up a playoff spot, while the Chargers are in great position. Maybe they could lock up a spot by the end.
Their game against Cleveland today.
Mayfield wide open. McMillan walk-in touchdown. Play of this opening Chargers drive has Herbert scrambling and throwing and scoring a touchdown to Ladd McConkey.
You know, Mike Evans has been a staple, but once they lost Godwin, that's been tough for him.
Picked off right on cue. Johnson, beg your pardon, spins away and dives in for the touchdown.
So now again, 2 halfbacks.
And they'll give it to the lead halfback. Oh, that ball is out of the hands of Rashad White, and the Chargers have it. Empty set, blitz coming. Mayfield out to the left. Throws on the move for Mike Evans, who gets loose. Down the sideline, Mike Evans.
Putting the veteran presence next to him.
He's pulling to block Joey Bosa, and that helps spring Bucky Irving. Right on cue, Bredesen had the key block. And a half ago, we lost him this past week. We just want to take some time and recognize him. Ball's up in the air. It is picked off, and it's Ryan Neal. Mayfield, shot, end zone, Evans! It's a touchdown!
It's really going to make your momentum or kill your momentum.
Blitz coming. Herbert, incomplete for McConkey.
And he finds a way to be a safety blanket for the quarterback.
James blitzes, Mayfield finds Rachaad White, and he finds the end zone. Might, and maybe should be, his last play of the day. It's going to be a 4th down stop or snap. Last week, the only snap that Herbert missed. Finds Stone Smart, and he loses the football.
Let's talk about who.
And the Bucs win their 4th straight game off their bye, of course, dominating the Chargers with a huge 27-0 second half shutout, of course, with that huge statement again over the Chargers. Again, they fall to 8-6, now have lost 3 out of their last 4, and we'll have a big win against the Broncos. Again, like I said, to probably determine who gets the 6th seed in the AFC. For the Bucs, of course, they get the win. They are now, at least for this week, leaders of the NFC South and look like to be the best team in that division. But hey, if they slip up once and the Falcons don't blow any games down the stretch, which again, they have a big game against the Commanders, I think they could actually clinch it before that. But anyway, the Bucs, unless they slip up, have a very good shot at getting the 3 seed. Again, which is actually pretty good for them. So, outside of that, though, for the Bucs, again, they played. This was their best game of the year by far, 40-17 win, obviously. But I don't know. Like, I think they have a shot to actually win a playoff game. I get how good those Vikings and at least the Vikings and probably the Packers are as wild card teams. But I do think the Bucs do have a shot to knock one of those teams off. Overall, yeah, Baker does. Honestly, this is like the best way I can put this Bucs team. Baker doesn't give an shit, and that's what makes this Bucs team dangerous. Yes, the interception was not good, but Baker just doesn't care where he's throwing the football, and it's working for this team. Bucs obviously get this huge statement win. Oh yeah. I get, where is he? Jalen McMillan had a pretty game overall, but they need to have another one of these receivers step up. It's just not really working out right now. Mike Evans, obviously, monster game, 2 touchdowns, 35-yarder, 57-yard touchdown, 9 for 159, 2 touchdowns. They need, again, Jalen McMillan had a good game, I get that. But, again, I see UK Dot in there, too, but they do need another receiver to step up to a guy, again, like, to replace Chris Godwin. I get Bucky Irving's kind of been able to do that heavy lifting as a running back, but, again, really good running game overall. But, like, this O-line's really coming into fruition for this Bucs team. But they really do need that second receiver, because again, Chris Godwin's so good for this team. Again, I'm not saying Jalen McMillan needs to be like the dude, but they do need someone to step up here because against a good team in the playoffs, again, Mike Evans will get shut down because, I mean, he's really the only option right now. It's going to hurt them, but honestly, if they can figure something out there, that would be huge. It's really only like big criticism I have in them because that's that they played fantastic. Okay, Bucs best second half of the season by far. They looked like a legit team. Beautiful blocking design on the Bucky Irving big run. Of course, they springed him there. I think all the rest is on the Chargers. Yeah, I think the rest is on the Chargers. All right. Defensively, they had a very good game plan to minimizing what that Chargers offense could do. Obviously, in the passing game, which again they're already not really a big play offense. Which I don't know why Chris Collins was talking about that, but I guess he wanted to last week on Sunday Night Football. But again, Levante David is just so good. Logan Hall proved himself as a guy who can consistently one-on-one. Jamel Dean obviously had the Justin Herbert streak-ending 5th longest all-time pass attempt streak. I think 357 pass attempts without interception. Obviously ended that with the interception there. Outside of that, though, this defense, I mean, they did a really good job. Chase McLaughlin obviously with 4 field goals. For the Chargers, Justin Herbert simply put did not look 100%. He looked really off. Arguably one of his worst games of the season overall. Again, those 4th down plays were brutal. This offense struggles to move the ball. Hard to see this team winning a playoff game. To be honest with you guys, I just don't see how this team does just that. I will say, of course, they've lost 3 out of their last 4 against pretty good teams overall. So again, that's why. But still, and without J.K. Dobbins, this running game is completely atrocious. Ladd McConkey can't do everything as a rookie. So does Smart. Again, outside of that fumble at the end of the game, actually looks like a guy who could be a decent option here. Quentin Johnson had a touch in the first half, didn't do anything after that. T.J. Chark needs to become a deep threat. With that said, though, yeah, Herbert looked off, like I said. Again, okay. Outside of that, though, this Chargers team's in a tough spot defensively. That was their worst game of the season. I think I should have more on them for that. The Chargers don't have a man-to-man corner, a number one corner with Asante Samuel Jr. out, which is true. Again, they kind of got exposed for them in this one. Also, they put a lot of pressure on a guy like Dane Henley to be like a catalyst as a coverage linebacker, and it's putting a lot on him because he also has to be able to fit the run as well. It's a lot for these linebackers. I got to give them that. So again, they did have some inconsistencies though. Conley, Khalil Mack, power win / power rush. He's the entire pass rush, guys. Like, let's be honest. Khalil Mack is he's carrying this defense right now. Like, in terms of their pass rush, because the interior is just not really getting much pressure, and Joey Bosa, again, come on the past couple weeks, but is not doing a ton. Again, he got benched for a reason early in the season. Tuli Tuipulotu also, I don't know what happened to him. Bucs had over 500 yards of offense, 223 yards on the ground. This balanced offense looks scary, and this is the biggest win they've had all year. Congrats to the Bucs, obviously 9 of 16. 15 to 6 on third down. Great win, Bucs. See if you can follow it up next week on Sunday night against the Cowboys. That's all I got for you guys here. Now let's get to, of course, the big three games.
In Detroit, two Rust Belt cities rooted in strength and perseverance. But this game, it's about more than that.
Spins around and launches it long. One-on-one coverage. Over the shoulder catch. Second and goal. That's what they're going to do. Pushing. Bills think he's across. Who's dangerous to the left.
He is big.
And it's Allen easily going in. Hopping home for the touch on 3rd and 9. Goff. Looking. Throwing. Caught. First down and touchdown. About down to 1, and they're going for it. Looking down. Wide open. And pulled down by Ty Johnson. First and goal. Give. Cook. No one near him. Goes in untouched for the Buffalo touchdown. Fake it to him this time. They got a wide open target. It's one of the linemen. It's Skipper. Here's Allen slipping out of a sack. Looking way down the field. There's a man who's got a step. And it's caught. That kick's no good. Oh my goodness, 52 yards, and he matches the miss of Bass. 2nd and 4, staying on the ground to Cook. Nice cut. Cook taken off. He actually almost got stopped, but he's going home for the touchdown. He wants something out of this. Drivers Goff down the field. Connects. Patrick lost it.
Watch the play action.
Little shovel pass, and it's Shakir with the Buffalo touch. The pass. Complete. St. Brown slips through a tackle. Inside the 20 to the 10. What a play.
They normally win, but they have their lead.
2nd and 4. Dumps it off. Gibbs. Got across.
Tony, but here we go. 12 minutes to go. Onside kick.
Ball bounces around. Is picked up by Hollins. And he's running with it.
Possession, right? They would have tried to surprise one, but you have to declare it.
Now Allen, short toss, easy doing, touchdown, Bills. Snap, handoff, Gibbs, pushed across. Oh my goodness, one of the linemen made that back. Here's Allen, fake the handoff, now just lobs it. Oh, it was caught. What a catch by Dawson Knox. It's a 4th and 10. Oh, look at the play they have drawn up as Gibbs takes it. Only 48 yards today in this game.
You can, because you're going to use your timeouts.
Yes.
What are you saving them for? You're
exactly
exactly right.
Top to the end zone. They go. They've got it. Here we go. Oh, straight up the middle, and there's a scrum for it. Oh my goodness! Did the Lions recover?
You think Josh Allen looked at the line of 54.5 and said, "Yeah, we're not gonna hit that"? Well, the Bills nearly did it by themselves, of course, in what was the biggest, last week, probably the biggest track meet of the year, as the Bills, of course, put up their 2nd straight 42-plus point outing, or 6-plus point touchdown outing. Of course, being able to knock off the Lions, hitting them their first loss since week 2, of course, snapping their franchise record 11-game winning streak. On their way, of course, to getting to 11-3, and now have a shot again at getting to 12 wins for the first time since, I wouldn't be right. Of course, trying to stay alive for that 1 seed. They get the Patriots next week at home before I think they have 2 games against teams that shouldn't be the hardest for them. Lions on their side, of course, do not have the easiest stretch. They, of course, have the game next week that should be winnable against the Bears in Chicago. But in the next 2 weeks, you can be the judge of that. They got the Vikings and they got the Niners, and they got the Vikings at home. So not the end of the world, but still, like I said in the very intro, obviously, if you still remember that. The Lions defense is falling apart. It's not their fault. Everybody's injured. It's really all got to take away for the Lions, I guess, because, I mean, these are 2 great teams, obviously. Josh Allen, I think, locked up the MVP unless he just plays god-awful the next couple weeks. They should be fine. He should obviously win MVP. 23-34, 232 touchdowns, as well as 2 touchdowns on the ground. This offense is just simply unbeatable. Overall, though, again, I have like a lot on this game. 90 combined points, most since, again, the Seahawks and Lions game back in 2022 where there were 93 combined points. Also in Detroit, obviously. Garbage time, okay, that's more on that. 48, no. Lions. Okay, Lions. Bills, I think, are the best team in football. I'm good to say that. Yeah, Allen locked up the MVP. 1,081 combined yards. As expected, obviously, in this game. That's just crazy. Bills could get 1 seed. Josh, 13 total touchdowns the last 3 weeks. More than every team in the NFL. Again, 13 total touchdowns for Josh Allen the past 3 weeks. No NFL team has that many. Again, collectively, which is just crazy. This is how an NFC team can beat Detroit, which I think is fair. They're going to have to outrace them. It's got to be a track meet, and they're going to have to win the race. Pretty simple there. Top scoring offense in the league. I can't read that. Oh, yeah, I don't know if this is true, but I think Josh Allen, 5 total rushing touchdowns the past 2 weeks is the most for a quarterback in 2 game span ever. I don't know if that's right, though. That just doesn't sound right, but yeah. Oh, yeah, also the Bills, 8 straight, I think, yeah, something like that, 30-plus point games, which ties the 2000 Rams, obviously greatest show on turf era there. 07 Patriots, best regular season team in NFL history. 2010 Patriots as well. 13 Broncos, best offense in NFL history. Obviously with 8 straight 30-point games, which is just crazy when you think about it. Oh yeah, for the Bills, first team ever to have back-to-back games in which the first game they scored over 40 points and they trailed the entire game, and then the next week after that scored 40-plus points and never trailed. So crazy type of stuff here. Defensively, they were cones out there. Let's just put it out as. But hey, give credit to where it's due. Teron Johnson had a heck of a first couple of drives to really put Jared Goff and Ben Johnson in a weird situation on those scripted plays. Obviously, they adjusted after, but still, very good start at the game for that Bills defense. Complete opposite of last week. Ty Johnson had to do some big plays and screens. Keon Coleman had a 64-yard catch. It was a crazy play. James Cook obviously had a good running game as well, which shows they are still a balanced offense, obviously. Tyler Bass had a really bad missed field goal. But, yeah. Jared Goff, obviously, this is crazy. The Lions have now won a game where Jared Goff threw 5 interceptions, and they lost a game where threw for 500 yards and 5 touchdowns. Obviously, this was all garbage time Goff, I guess. Nah, he played awesome. With most production since week 4 of 2019, where of course he did 517 passing yards and 68 pass attempts. I think it's something like that. Crazy stuff though. Oh yeah. Also for this defense, one's Brian Branch. I think came up for a little while. The Lions secondary was put in some tough spots. Again, Lions falling apart with 16 defenders on IR, something like that. Lions O-line had a rude awakening early as well. I don't think they were prepared for not the Lions, for what the Bills defensive line was going to give them. Amon-Ra, obviously 14-4-9-3, 60-yard touchdown. He set some record with the 14 catches. Sam Laporta, 7 for 111 as well. Oh yeah, also 48 combined rushing yards for the Lions. Again, that's probably going to be the host of the year for sure. I think that might be actually all I have, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. Eagles, again, having with the Lions as the 1 seed is just crazy in my opinion. I don't even know how that's possible, but it is, because that's what we're doing right now. Outside of this, though, again, I heard there's the overreaction of, is this going to be in the Super Bowl? I really don't see how it's not possible. Jake Elliott, obviously, with a field goal here as well, missed field goal as well. Again, this should be the Super Bowl, guys. It would be awesome. This game was just insane, and yeah, it wasn't as good as the Rams game last week. I'm just telling you that right now, but back-to-back just insane games here for the Bills. Please don't have this happen again. It was just kind of like, I don't know, deflate a type of game like this, but my golly, this was crazy. 200 rushing yards, 350 passing yards, just an absolute clinic by this Bills offense. Guys to the Lions also had a lot of points as well. With that said, that's all I got for you guys here, of course, in what was, again, the presumed game of the year coming into it. Now let's get to a game that, again, was just straight up Philadelphia football, guys.
It is America's Game of the Week on a crisp day in December. Beautiful day for a game and a great one, too, as the 10-3 Steelers take on the 11-2 Eagles.
Run. Can he get there? Has a way to go. And he is still up, and now the ball comes loose. Hurts. Firing one. Caught! Who else? A.J. Brown. Hurts. Pressure, slings it, it is caught for the touchdown, Devontae Smith. Wilson, lofting one for the corner, it is held on to by Freiermuth. Had a losing season, there's a reason why. Flea flicker, Wilson has time, delivering a beat ball, looking for Austin, who goes and gets it. Harris drops the ball, it is loose, still bouncing around, I think Philadelphia has it.
To work on in practice.
Do it again. Hurts shove forward. Jalen Hurts
And the Eagles set their franchise record 10th straight win, of course, as they knock off the Steelers 27-13. What was a physically dominating game by them. Not as the way you might have thought, though. Of course, they moved to 12-2. Head to Washington next week to try to complete the season sweep against them. Steelers fall 10-4. Huge game, obviously, on Thursday, and what, of course, is a murder drove game for them as they continue their playoff their first playoff run here, of course, because it's just crazy what's going on for this team, obviously. But the biggest thing I have to talk about the Steelers, and really the only true thing I want to talk about, because obviously they're gonna make the playoffs, guys. They already clinched it, obviously. Is the Steelers' offensive philosophy finally got exposed? Is the Eagles blew up short passing, and they just did. They hounded that. Frustrated Najee and put Elias on those outside fades that Russell loves to throw. Mostly doesn't really have that available. Outside that one throw he had to Calvin Austin, this offense really didn't get the ball moving at all. Pat Freiermuth did have a nice touchdown, though. Najee obviously had one catch, but they couldn't run the ball for crap. Now, I don't really think they really ran the ball. They should ran it all. Russell Wilson, obviously, ineffective. Let's just put it out as well. The offense overall, one word to describe it, ineffective, and that's probably the worst you can possibly be. Defensively, they got beat up. That's the best way to put it. TJ Watt was gross. Alex Highsmith had a really nice game overall, but they can't do everything, and they also did not do a great job setting the edge, guys. I will say, though, it wasn't the end of the world, but this defense could have played better overall. I wouldn't say they didn't show up, but they could have definitely played better. For the Eagles, though, of course, Jalen Hurts shut everybody up, shut me up, sure. Obviously, he said he could throw the football, and you know what he did. He threw the football, and they did it really well. Saquon, worst game in a while, but it really didn't matter because Jalen had the tush push. They had a 21-play, 88-yard, 10-minute and 39-second draining drive to win the game. So that's crazy. Jalen, again, proves us all wrong. Eagles needs to open up the middle of the field, which I still think is important. Again, being relied on too much for A.J. Smith had his best game in a while as well, so again, that is good, but get him open over the middle of the field a little bit more. Outside that, the Steelers missing the electric player. Obviously, George Pickens. Steelers secondary isn't very physical slash tackling. That is true. Steelers pressure was inconsistent. I won't say it's inconsistent. I just say, again, it wasn't very balanced. Steelers struggled to generate movement in the flat zones, which is true. In terms of, again, those what is it called, the receivers there. Eagles D tackles wreaked havoc. Plays for their division, plays for the division title next week. I think they're still around. N'Kobe Dean had 10 tackles, a sack from Nolan Smith Jr. as well as Josh Sweat. Again, this is honestly a really short recap when you think about it for this game. But also the Eagles just straight up dominated it, and they're the best team in the NFL. Not the best team in the NFC. They're one of the best teams in the NFL right now. So you know that 412 yards of offense is what they're supposed to do. You can control the clock without that last drive. 10-17 on third down to the Steelers 3-10. Steelers 160 yards of offense is their least since week 7, 2010 against the Titans. So kind of tells you where they're at on offense right now. But see if you can bounce back next week against the Ravens in Baltimore. Murder throw game obviously for them. Eagles, see if you can lock up the division next week. With that said, that's all I got for you guys here. Let's wrap this thing up with Sunday Night Football.
43-degree but dry middle of December Sunday night. South edge of downtown Seattle. Lumen Field sold out and rocking. Jacobs inside into the end zone. Opening drive, touchdown. Love looking inside. It is caught by Dobbs. Romeo Dobbs to the end zone. Packers back in the end zone. Love is 8 of 8 to start. Now going downfield.
Sunday Night Football, the Packers, unfortunately, don't technically lock up a playoff spot because, the Falcons had to be jerks and beat the Raiders. Obviously, the Raiders are going to be pissed about that. Nah, but still. Packers obviously in a very good spot to making the playoffs, but still, in reality, could be 13-4 and somehow get the 6th seed, which is crazy. I think the Vikings would have to beat the Lions in Week 18. And the Vikings would have to lose to the Packers, something like that. But still, it's very possible for that to actually happen, which is crazy. But still, they obviously have a game next week. It's against Saints on Monday Night Football. Should improve to 11-4, which I guess is good for them. Seahawks obviously fall to 8-6 without snapping their 4-game winning streak. This game was not really close for a second. The Packers obviously jumped out to a 17-0 lead early, and they never really looked back. They also silenced the crowd on the first 2 drives, which is kind of crazy when telling how this Seahawks team played in this one. They now, of course, do not control their own destiny. Well, they actually technically do because they play the Rams in Week 18, but still. They're not in a great spot, I guess. No, they're fine. Just win out and you make the playoffs, I guess. But still, for the Seahawks, Geno Smith injury is uncertain there. Again, with the knee injury, that is concerning for sure. But still, the Seahawks obviously just completely laid an egg in this one, and that's about it. Move on to next week. All right, for the Packers, Geno Smith, Seahawks 1-5 at home last 6 home games. They are averaging 17.1 points per game in that span. Only win was against the Cardinals in a 16-6 victory. Packers, I'd like to also mention, are 9-0 against teams outside of their division since Week 1, which is actually pretty crazy. Obviously, Week 1 being the loss to the Eagles outside the country. So take out the Mexico game, they're actually really good. Seahawks crowd again, like I was saying, entirely. Packers did were uber efficient to start. Packers had a perfect wide receiver core. I would like to say that. Christian Watson with the speed and the overall separation there. Romeo Doubs is just, I think, a good player. Gets in the end zone 2 times there. Jaden Reed also very versatile. Josh Jacobs was kind of good out of the backfield. He's been a top 5 running back this year as well. Getting out to that fumble. Had a nice touchdown as well. Okay. Packers 10 straight wins outside of division. Again, the regular season. Again, I'm kind of skewing that, but still, their last loss was last week. It was actually a year ago. Again, outside of the division, which is pretty crazy. Kingsley and Egbert, 5 tackles, 2 sacks. He looks like a good player. Edgerton Cooper was very good with overall complete game. Again, I want to kind of skim this through this pretty quickly, but defensively, they were great. For the Seahawks, Sam Howell came in and played atrocious. Geno came in, again, who's pretty efficient overall to start, but did the interception. Zach Charbonnet had a touchdown, 24-yarder. JSN is their best receiver probably, and outside that, no one else really stepped up. Tyler Lockett did have a nice play though. Defensively, they're kind of an average game overall. They did some good stuff, but overall just kind of get 30 points, and that's just not a great way to win football games. Jason Myers 2 field goals as well. And team stats went pretty as expected with 370 yards. Packers controlled the clock as well, somewhat. So all I got for you guys in this one. Again, all I got for you guys here in this NFL Sunday recap. Hope you guys enjoyed, and obviously see you for the Monday Night Football recap tomorrow. Obviously be a doubleheader. Anyway, though, that's all I got for you guys here. Again, if you stayed around the whole time, you're crazy. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys.
Pass deflected down. Ingrid